and welcome again to another Knitting Pastor Vlogcast. I'm your host, Heather, and today is Friday, September 20th. For those of you who are coming and checking me out for the first time, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoy what you see. If you're coming back again, thank you so much for coming back and checking me out. For those of you who are new and coming, I'm Heather, and I am a United Methodist pastor of two small member congregations in rural mid-Michigan towards just west of Lansing. And I live in a parsonage, which is a home owned by one of the churches, near one of the two churches that I serve, with my two children, Abby, who just turned 14 last week, and my son Philip, who is 9, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback Flint. So we live here and work here, and yeah. Again, the format of this is a little bit different than some of, it's not a traditional podcast where I just sit down and podcast, because my schedule is such that it's really difficult for me to do that. So instead, I do shorter vlog clips throughout the week, and then that way you also get a glimpse beyond just the knitting into things that are going on in my life with the kids, going on in my ministry and whatnot. So that's what this is. If that isn't your style, that's fine. You can find a more traditional podcast in another place. But if it is your style and you do enjoy it, again, I thank you for hanging out. So I do always like to start just by kind of going over what I have been knitting on in the past week, because it has been a week since I've talked to you guys. And I have got two projects going. One is the vanilla socks that I've been doing on 9-inch circulars, and that I did an afterthought heel for. And so the end of the last one I had finished the afterthought heel, and I have now cast on the second sock. So I'm about this far into the second sock. And as I said, I am knitting it on 9-inch circulars. I will be honest, the 9-inch circulars are not my favorite. I don't think they're going to be my go-to needle of choice. That being said, they're really nice for just straight vanilla socks, because you can stop kind of wherever and you don't have to worry about being in the middle of a row or dropping stitches as much. So that aspect of things is kind of nice. I won't lie. But I think certainly not for pattern socks. I can't even imagine doing this and having to do anything real different than a purl. Because I didn't necessarily enjoy doing the ribbing on them. I don't mind the stockinette part. So I still think Magic Loop or DPNs will be my primary go-to. But that isn't to say that I won't have vanilla socks on a 9-inch circular kind of in the future. So not my favorite, but not horrible either. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. So that kind of makes a difference. I have no idea how they would do in the dark with a movie, because I did get Hiya Sharps, and I don't know how well you can see this, but they are really, really sharp. And I don't know if my other Hiya Sharps have just dulled because I've used them so much and I'd forgotten just how sharp they end up being. But they are really pretty sharp, and if I'm not looking, I can split the yarn much more easily with the 9-inch circulars than I can in other methods. And I don't know if that's the 9-inch circular or if it's just that these are so much sharper. Not 100% sure. The other project that I am working on is my Comfort Fade cardigan, and I just bound off the body. So I have the body of the sweater. Did I say that right? Comfort? Yes. Oh, okay. And I bound off the body, so I have the whole body done. I did do a shorter rib on it than the pattern called for, because I don't like ribbing. I don't like knitting it. I don't necessarily like the look of it. And the length was a good length. It was the length that I wanted it to be, so I wasn't gonna mess around with it. But I really, really like it. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like the reverse stockinette, but I like the reverse stockinette. I like the effect that it gives. It's almost like a better fade even than the like the regular stockinette side. So this is the regular, like the inside of it, the regular stockinette side. And it's a little more stripy, like especially down here with these colors. It's a bit more stripy. The yarn is from Goosey Fibers. And the colorways, I'm going to tell you these now, and then I probably will forget that I've told you them, and I will tell you them again at the end of the week, because that seems to be what I tend to do. The first color is called Stardust. That's this grayish color. The second color right in here is Diagon Alley. The third color is this darker blue, and that is Hagrid's Hut. And the last color is this beautiful, I would call this kind of like a peacocky blue, and that is called Hide Behind. So the fade is perfect. These are colors that I just really gravitate towards naturally, and I'm really pleased with it. So I'm going to be picking up for the sleeves and knitting the sleeves coming forward. And then the shawl collar, which I've heard can be a little bit tricky. So I will really want to give that some good time and thought as I prepare to do the shawl collar. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how that is turning out. Not much has been going on. In the past week, it was Abby's birthday, and so we did a little bit for her with that, but she was super tired when she came home and like went to bed at like 7 o'clock and slept all night. So she did dive in her first high school diving meet yesterday, so Thursday. Didn't do as well as one might have hoped, but it was her first meet, and she was really kind of just trying to get the dives, close so that she could compete. So that was just a starting point, and we'll just kind of go from there. And she had a lot of fun, and I have to tell you, as a mother, just seeing your kid enjoying themselves that much, she was so happy, and she was it brought tears to my eyes to see her like really in this moment and really involved in this team, and just really having fun. And so that was just wonderful, because I haven't really shared a whole lot about that on the podcast or vlogs, but when we moved here about 2 years ago, it was a really difficult transition for Abby. And that first year, she was just like completely miserable and cried a lot. And it was really, really difficult. So to see her fitting in with a group of people, having fun, feeling a connection to the school that she's going to now, I can't even tell you. There are no words to describe how happy that makes me and how wonderful that is. So that was really great. She's got another meet this week on Thursday. She was supposed to have one tomorrow, so she's spending the weekend with me. However, the meet got moved, but she's still gonna be with me for the weekend because we have to go to a funeral now. That's not really any better than the diving meet. But she's looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to having her here for the weekend, and she'll get to do some stuff with her team on Saturday and Sunday that she wouldn't maybe not have gotten to do otherwise. So that's very good as well. I think I'm gonna leave it here to get things started, and I'll check in with you guys later. So I decided instead of buying yarn for Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, I would dye some. So I've got some red in this pot and some brown in this pot. And it's hard to see because of the reflection and stuff, but yeah, so we'll see how these turn out. My intention is for this to go into Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, and I wanted to do something kind of fallish. So I've got the brown and I've got the red, and we'll see how these turn out. I probably won't know really until tomorrow once everything is like good and dry what the colors look like, but I'm feeling optimistic that this is going to be good. Hi guys, it's Monday, September 22nd, and we had a really busy weekend, but it wasn't the kind of busy that like vlogging really would be very interesting about. Saturday, the kids and I drove over and went to a funeral. Really exciting. It was my dad's brother-in-law. So my dad's sister had passed away a couple of years before he did. And then her husband just passed away. So we drove over for that with my mom. And that was nice because we were able to see people on my dad's side of the family who we don't see very often at all. So it was just kind of nice to reconnect with them. I was a little unsettled because my one uncle who was there, the other one was not there, but the one who was there, who was my dad's youngest brother, looks exactly like my dad. Like, it's eerie. He looks so much like my dad. And it just really kind of unsettled me a little bit. And it unsettled Abby a little bit. I'm not sure how much Phil really registered it, but definitely Abby and I were a little bit unsettled by the very uncanny resemblance to my dad. I mean, it was like, down to the type of glasses that he was wearing. It was just kind of unreal. They're very different, but like personality wise, but looks wise, it was, oh man, a little bit, took you back a little bit. And then after that, we went back to the town that my mom lives in and saw my aunt and my grandfather, who is still alive. He's still hanging in there. He's got a cold right now, so that kind of stinks. But he's still going on. And then Sunday was church, like usual. Abby did have a team bonding sleepover Saturday night, so I had to go get her before church. And then after church, we went to this park. She is in the French club, and the French club was playing Capture the Flag with the German club. So I took her to that, so she was able to be involved in that. And then we met my mom for dinner, and we went and saw the Downton Abbey movie. So that was good. We enjoyed the movie a lot. Even Philip kind of liked it. I felt kind of bad dragging Philip to it because it is not the kind of movie that a 9-year-old boy likes. But he did really well, and he was like, I kind of liked that. I'm like, that's okay. But Abby and I really enjoyed it, and my mom liked it, so it was good. I didn't realize how much I missed that show. I really enjoyed Downton Abbey, and getting to see the characters again almost felt like a family reunion or something, like a coming home. It was kind of cool. So we did that. And today, I've been trying to get some work done. I have to have a procedure tomorrow, which will require anesthesia. It's an endoscopy. And so, I can't eat today, and I have to do some prep for that tonight, which will suck. But, and tomorrow I'll be under anesthesia, so that's going to limit a lot of what I can get done tomorrow, because even though the anesthesia for an endoscopy is not a heavy anesthesia, it hits me kind of hard, and I'm groggy for longer than usual with it. So I've been doing sermon stuff, trying to do schoolwork and all of that. But I have been knitting a little bit. I did start the sleeve of my Comfort Fade cardigan. I have faded in that third color on the sleeve. And I did decide to knit it inside out, so I'm knitting the stockinette. The stockinette instead of the reverse stockinette side, so the purl side. The knit side, not the purl side. And then I will turn it inside out when I go to put on the sweater, because the sweater is reverse stockinette itself. And I did it that way because I figured it would be faster if I can knit the sleeves instead of purling all the sleeves. So that's why I decided to do it this way. And I am not unhappy that I made that decision. Although you do have to kind of change up a little bit how you do carry your yarn, because obviously the inside is the right side, so you want to be careful how you're doing that. So that was a little bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if I figured out a good way to do that, but yeah, so that's what I did, and I'm plugging along with that one. But that's all the knitting that I've really been doing. I did try to knit on my vanilla sock in the movie, but I did something really weird and like made a hole. So I fixed that. I knew it wasn't anything like too horrible, but I could feel the hole, and so I stopped knitting on it because I couldn't see to fix it. So I fixed that this morning. So that's all fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a little bit more reading before I have to pick up kids and start what I need to do for tomorrow for my procedure. And I'll talk to you guys later. I did want to take just a second and show you the yarn that I dyed for the West Knits Mystery Knit Along that'll be starting in October. I decided to go with a red and kind of this is really kind of like a mocha-ish brown. It's a little bit darker than it's showing up on the camera, but the red is pretty true. It's like a pretty good, deep, almost a blood red. It looked like in the dye pots, like I'd murdered somebody. That's what David said when he saw it. I did get some like weird kind of like speckling with the dye, like it didn't dissolve all the way, and so it did a little bit of speckling, but I think that'll add a nice interest to the yarn. And then there was this piece here that for some reason didn't take up the dye as well. But I'm not too worried about that either. The two browns turned out amazing, and I really like this color there. That's showing up really true to color right there. I really like it. I could see like a really beautiful pair of socks out of this color, like a nice patterned sock, like one of Helen Stewart's socks, because she does such beautiful sock patterns, and I think that that would be amazing. So this is my yarn for the West Knits Mystery Knit Along, which I'm excited about, and I am really, really pleased with how this turned out. A little bit out of my comfort zone with the red and the brown, but I wanted something that had a little bit of a fallish feel, and I think that the contrast is going to be really good. So I am looking forward to that. Hey guys, so it's Thursday now, September 26th, and I just wanted to check in and kind of update you on the week. So Tuesday I had a procedure done, and I was under anesthesia, and so I was kind of out of it and groggy most of the day on Tuesday, and just kind of laid low and rested, but I did get some knitting done. And then yesterday I got a bunch of work done, which was really good because I'm going to school this weekend. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to have any time to get any work done Friday or Saturday. Well, I wouldn't work on Friday anyway, but I needed to just really get a lot of stuff done. And because on Tuesday I was kind of out of commission all day, I needed to get some stuff done. So I did, and I was really pleased about that, and I felt really productive. And then yesterday afternoon, I went over to my local yarn shop, and there is a knit group that meets on Wednesday afternoons. And I went for the first time last week, and I came back again this week. And I'm really glad that I decided to do that. It's good to have a knitting connection in the community. So I'm liking doing that. And I did want to show you, I did finish the first sleeve of my Comfort Fade cardigan. I did decide to knit the sleeves inside out because I didn't really want to purl that much. So I did make that decision to do that. And I do want to show you, so the cuff on these is cool. It's a garter cuff, not a rib cuff. And I think it's a really nice touch that you then fade back to your first color as part of the cuff. And so I think it makes for a really nice detail on the sleeve. Obviously this is the wrong side, so if I it's not as obvious, like the garter isn't as obvious like on the right side because you go right from purl into garter stitch. But yeah, I am really pleased with how this is knitting up. So I'm really happy that I got that first sleeve done. I'm hoping that I can get the sweater finished before the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along begins next Friday, which seems like it might be doable. Hard to say. I don't know how the color is gonna go on this, but this is where I am on the second sleeve. I have started to fade in the third color on the sleeve, so that is coming along, and yeah, I'm just really, really liking how this is coming together so far. So that's what I've been working on, making some knitting progress, feeling good about that. And so today is going to be getting a few more things done, finishing up my reading for my class. I have this nice big fat book that I have to read chapters out of. I don't have to read the whole book before class, but got to finish reading for class and write a paper for my other class. And yeah, and then Abby has a meet tonight, and she will be competing in the meet, and we're a little nervous because it's reverse week, and she's never done a reverse in competition before. I'm not even sure she's successfully done a reverse in practice, but she's gonna try it. It may not go very well. So if you don't know, a reverse dive is where they approach forward and they jump off and flip around this way and go in like that. So you flip backwards to kick your feet up. And these are the dives that people hit their heads on the diving board when they do them. So that's a little freaky, and I try not to think too hard about her hitting her head on the diving board. But she has the movement right. She just needs to get her timing down, I guess is what she said. So we'll see how that goes. I may or may not put in videos of it depending on how it goes. I don't want to embarrass her by putting in a failed dive. But we'll see. We will see how that goes. So that's tonight. And now I'm gonna go off and do some errands that I need to run for work, and then just kind of get on with my day, and I'll talk to you all later. Good morning. It's Friday, September 27th, and the kids are heading off to get to school, and I'm about ready to leave to go to the train station so I can hop on the train and head to school. It should be a long weekend. There'll be a lot of class, a lot of brain time, but I'm hoping that it'll feel good and refreshing to be with some like-minded people, because sometimes we really need that, especially when we're in environments where sometimes you need a little bit more license to kind of be yourself and not have to kind of be on guard, which isn't to say that I have to be on guard, but you have to be mindful of things in this career, because people can take offense very easily and take things out of context and misinterpret. So you kind of have to be careful. So it'll be nice to kind of be able to let my guard down a little bit for a time while I am there. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Guys, it's Saturday now, September 28th, and I totally meant to record something when I got back to my room after my class, but I have a paper due today at midnight for this class, and we really didn't have a lot of instruction prior to arriving here on how to do that paper, so that was a little bit frustrating. And so I came back, got some food, and then I worked on that paper until I fell asleep, and I just kind of was focused on getting that done. So, but I did make it here. My train was delayed an hour and a half, so I was late to class because it takes about an hour to get from Chicago to Evanston because I take the L up. And my train was supposed to come into Chicago 2.5 hours before my class started, and I thought that'd be plenty of time, except that I was not anticipating an hour and a half train delay. So that was a little bit frustrating, but I emailed my professor from the train and let him know what was going on, and it was fine. It wasn't really that big of a deal. I really hope that that's not going to be a problem, because I don't want to have to drive over here. For one thing, it's really it's a lot of wear and tear and mileage on my car. For another thing, Chicago traffic is not fun, and I don't really want to have to drive in it if I don't have to. I had to switch arms that I was holding the phone with because this one was getting tired. So that was not very cool. And then it was raining like a lot. So I had to I rolled my pants up really far because I have really short legs. And so my pants always kind of drag on the ground. And when it's raining or snowing, they get really wet. And that's not cool. So, but I made it. I made it back to my hotel. I crashed. Now I am up. I've been working on that paper a little bit this morning. And I'm about ready to check out of my hotel and head over to class. So, and then I've got some time. Then I've got some time in between class and when the train comes that I can do a little bit more before I have to go back home. And then I'll get back home late tonight and church tomorrow. So I think I'm going to be pretty exhausted after church is over. I may very well crash after that, but that would be okay. I don't have kids, so that'd be right. All right, that's all, and I'll talk to you later. It's now Sunday afternoon, September 29th, and I made it back home. My train ended up being late last night, and I didn't get back home until about 11 p.m., so I didn't really record anything. I basically came home, let Flint out so that he could go to the bathroom, and went to bed because I was really tired, and I had church today, and so that was just not going to happen at all. So I've done church. It's the afternoon. I've rested some, and so I thought I would just pop on real quick and just kind of close out this week's vlog. It is rainy and cold today. Fall. We're gonna get one more little blast of summer over the next couple of days here in Michigan, where it's gonna be in the 80s, and then it seems like fall is like really coming and is going to be here, which I like fall. I just don't like that fall turns into winter. So I thought I would just give you a quick look at the things that I have been knitting. When I went on the train to go to school, because I was only staying one night, I didn't want to carry a lot of stuff with me, so I just took one backpack because really all I needed was like a little bit of clothes, and that was it. Plus all of my school books, which were huge and heavy, so I didn't really want a bunch of extra stuff. So I just took with me the little mini socks that I've been knitting for my advent calendar. I didn't bring them over with me, but I knit two of those, one there and one on the way back, because those knit up super fast. So that was all that I brought with me knitting wise, just because I didn't want to bring a DK weight sweater with me and add that bulk already to my already way full backpack. So I just went with that because that was simple and that was easy. But I will show you the pair of socks that I have been working on, because I'm pretty much just about to the toe now. So I'm doing these with an afterthought heel and a 9-inch circulars, which has been a new experience. Both of those have been a new experience for me. This is my second sock, and I am about to the toe. So I just really need to take a minute and just do the toe and finish it, and then do the heel and finish them, and then these will be done. It's just more of a matter of me stopping what I'm doing to actually do that. These are the ones that I knit while I'm like waiting at the bus stop for the kids, waiting in the parking lot for Abby to get out of diving. Knitting at diving meets. These get knit there too. So, not totally sold on the 9-inch circulars. I think they have their place and their purpose, but I don't ever think they're going to be my go-to sock knitting needle. They just don't really suit me the best, but it has been a good experience trying them, and that's not to say that I won't use them in the future, because I will, but just hasn't been quite as enjoyable as I would have wanted them to be. Let me say that. So, maybe this week these will get finished. I'm not going to make any promises, because you never know. But the thing that has been getting a lot of attention has been my Comfort Fade cardigan. Now, I'm pretty sure I had not started the sleeves yet at the beginning of the week. Well, guess what? I have a sleeve done. I showed you this. I showed you the done sleeve. So I do have one sleeve totally done, and the other sleeve almost. I have added the fourth color of the fade going down the sleeve, and I'm almost done with the sleeves, and then I'll have to do the collar. So I'm really, really hoping that I can finish this in time for the Stephen West mystery knit along. And I think I put in video of the yarn I dyed for that. I'm pretty sure that I did. If I didn't, I'll put in a picture of it, because I dyed yarn for that one. And that kicks off next Friday. So my apologies, Flint is not happy that it's raining. He doesn't like the rain. So anyway, sleeve is coming along. I think it is entirely possible and feasible to finish this before next Friday. Well, I say that. We'll see how the collar goes, because people have had some struggles with the collar. I did decide, I think I've said this before too, so I apologize if I am being redundant, because I don't remember what all I have said. I did decide to do these, the knit side, where I'm just knitting instead of purling all of those stitches, because I figured that they would go faster. I am not sorry that I made that decision. I'm not going to lie. Because I think that it would have been, I don't know that I'd have the sleeve done if I was just purling, because I can knit and not really think about it. I have to think a little bit more about purling. Like, I can't purl blindly as well as I can knit blindly. So I am, at this point, I am really tired. I'm really tired, and my brain is like, after 12 hours of class Friday and Saturday, I'm kind of about done. So I'm going to stop talking, because I'm going to start rambling, and it's not going to make any sense. So I think this is a good place to stop. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me this week and checking me out. If you liked what you see, awesome. Hit like, and you can subscribe to this channel, and you will see more stuff like this. Thank you for coming back, for those of you who are back again. And I hope you all have a good week. And as fall is coming in there, you guys are enjoying the sweater weather and knitting and being cozy and all of those things that go along with it. So I will talk to you guys again in about 2 weeks. Bye.